In the previous video, I described fscanf as an example of procedural programming, and that in order to properly use fscanf, you had to keep track of addresses passed by reference and work at it as it's procedurally going through the computer. Standard cout and standard cin treat the variables like objects, so you don't have to keep track of whether or not you're passing the address or not. You can just pass the variables, and the C++ compiler will do it for you. But by understanding the procedural programming aspect, you'll be able to use the object-oriented programming better. So let's go through this identical code and see what's going on. Here we have an integer, and we have a char star, and instead of using char star malloc, where we had to have a long unsigned integer 10 times size of char, we can use new char 10, which is the object-oriented approach of doing the exact same thing. So now that we have allocated the memory, we can read in cin, int input, and then char input. Then when we output them, we don't have to do output specifiers. We don't have to do %d or %f. We just state the variables, and then the object-oriented programming approach allows the compiler to do the work for you. So let's run and see what happens. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do 1842 and then noter. And we're going to see that again, it prints out the exact same thing. The difference between standard cin and standard cout as opposed to fscanf and fprintf is that fprintf and fscanf are procedural and imperative approaches to reading in and printing to the terminal, and standard cin and standard cout are C++ object-oriented approaches to reading in or printing out to the screen.